and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on?
I mean, I'm fine. This intro is a you week intro.
It's a pretty big me
because
week.
It is. I mean, again, all the days are a blur in terms of what day it is. The subscriber days this comes out, the regular days this comes out. We are recording this on your actual birthday.
Right.
You are in studio. It is your 39th birthday.
Don't say the words.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's a little weird to sell because it comes up a week before because we tape a week before.
I feel the same way when it's mine, yeah.
Right.
You're it's like a 3-week long situation.
It's enough of me already. But thank you. It is my birthday today, the worst day of the year.
How's your birthday going?
It's been good. I try to slow it down on my birthday. I know we had this taping. I had a couple drinks at midnight last night.
Good for you.
Woke up a little later. I was really busy yesterday, and then kind of like
describe the perfect birthday.
I guess it would be you wake up whenever you want, no alarm.
Yeah, it's a good start.
The good start. You have like coffee where no one's bothered. You can just like sip a coffee and I like a long coffee sit.
Okay.
Then a walk, a good workout that like has a steam element afterwards, like that you feel like, oh, I got the workout. I deserve this.
Yeah.
And then a nice meal.
Jared, I have to say
a blowjob.
I have to say, this sounds like every day of your life. You live every day like it's your birthday. I feel like you're describing the way you would describe any other day.
I do. I'm laughing because you're right. I live a good life.
Yeah, you do.
Listen, I'm very happy.
Every step of the thing you're describing, I'm like, I wake up, no alarm. I get coffee. I'm like, isn't this how you show up every Wednesday? And you're
this is why I only thing that could ruin my life is a woman.
I mean, when you describe it, it's funny. Naomi and I did a little recap with her about your apartment tour.
Oh, okay.
And you'll hear it on next week's episode.
Oh my God! Oh, so it's talked about on oversharing.
Yeah, we talked about it on oversharing.
I'll stop you for 2 seconds. It's on the YouTube now. It's out. It's out. Go watch it. It was fun to do. It was funny what you pointed out.
I had such a good time doing it. I felt a little bad after, like I was too critical.
You did feel bad, and you kind of took. You were like. You were on a little apology tour, and I was like, "There's nothing to." When someone apologizes to you, you're like, "Should I be
offended?"
Right?
No, I think it's more like I don't know. I felt like I was only pointing out like things that needed to be improved and not talking about any of the good shit.
Well, we did have a very heartfelt talk afterwards.
Yes.
On
benefits.
Again, we're in Plug City. This is.
I mean, it's the U Up universe.
Right. That's right.
You can consume us any way, which way you want. But one of the things about your apartment that I wanted to get you because one, it's your birthday, and two, because I felt like I talked a lot of shit about your apartment. I wanted to get you.
It's not like I own it. I'm like, it's someone else's shithole.
That's true. It's different than when you come to my house.
Right.
And I
your whole life savings.
Exactly.
Is in it.
Invested into that thing. So I wanted to get you a gift for your birthday, and in the spirit of that,
even after I told you I'm a bad gift receiver and giver,
I don't know you at all.
Thank you. So this is for. Oh.
Okay. So one of the things in your apartment that I thought needed help was we've talked about candles on this show and having women over, and the candle that I saw in your apartment was like a wax woman's butt.
A woman's body, yeah.
And that was one of the things I felt like maybe needed to be improved. There's a gift receipt in there. I think you've gone too far.
I've got it. Okay. This is.
I didn't think you were going to get anything else from Sephora.
No man returns a gift.
Okay. Cool.
No, Jorge, you ever returned a gift?
Never returned a gift.
0% away from each other.
Okay, good.
I'm asking Joey if he's ever returned it. Women, there was a guy who had a joke about women returning things, and it was so funny.
I return half the things that I get.
Noah Savage, he's very funny, very, very funny comic, but I'll never forget it. And I was like, dude, that needs to be an hour bit. About every woman's day involves some form of returning something.
Yes.
You're looking at a gift receipt. Today, I called my brother. We were talking about gifts specifically, and he was like, And I was like, we would never get our mom like a gift more than flowers at this point. He's like, yeah, because we tried once. And I was like, we did? He said that we got my mom a purse once and she returned it.
Oh, I wouldn't. You got your mom a purse?
I guess we had heard she wanted it.
That's too specific to someone's taste. You
Right.
can't get it someone.
Well,
a
that's
purse.
it. Look
Yeah.
at even what you're saying now. I'm like, you assholes.
So-
Take a gift and wear it once and shut the fuck up.
So the candle was to, because at first I was going to get you as a joke because we talked about it on J Train. Like, you
Yeah.
know what? He has too much gimmicky shit in there already. This is a man with his face on condoms. I'm going to get him
Yes.
something like actually nice because we're trying to upgrade the apartment to be like a real.
I appreciate it, even though it's a replica. Look at, she got the fake one. Oh no!
the
Oh,
brand.
that's the brand.
It's the
Oh, no.
brand.
I thought this was like the one they have in
No,
store
it's a
that
nice,
was cheaper.
it's a nice
Oh,
expensive
beautiful.
candle. No, I got
No,
you an
this smell-
expensive. I got you an expensive candle.
Thank
Jared.
you.
I know you're not supposed to talk about the price of the gift. But
No, this
it's
is
expensive.
Candles, you have to talk about that it's expensive.
Well, that's so you know it's not a piece of shit.
right. No, no diptyque, but I'll take it. No, it's great. It smells.
It's in the family of.
This is a good one.
And
Yeah,
I felt
yeah, can
I
tell.
felt like the scent and the packaging was manly enough.
It is. No, this is a great look. I love it. Thank you.
Of course.
my reputation of being a bad gift receiver is preceding me. I'm like, making fun of it.
I
No,
think
it's great.
we're gonna use it in the upgraded apartment. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going right next to my bed. I have an older candle I'm throwing away. This is going right in its spot.
Amazing.
Thank you. This is so nice. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Happy birthday! I'm so glad you were born.
Thank you. If you haven't seen the YouTube of my apartment, face on condoms really shocked you just now. You're like, what was that about? Go watch the video. No, this is so nice. I'm speechless, and I'm not usually that, as people know. So,
all right, love it.
thank you. Yeah, we have a lot to go over.
We have a lot to go over. We had a big week last week.
Big week. Thank you to everyone in New York who came to the shows. Unbelievable. You came. Thank you.
Amazing show.
Candace came.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have to say, this is the second time I saw the show. The last time I saw it was in September.
Yes.
The show is even better than the last time I
Thank
saw
you.
it. It was hysterical then, but it's even like funnier and tighter and just like.
Could you see differences? You
Yes,
could see?
for sure. You added in little jokes that I really appreciated. I'm not going to give any away. But I thought that you really fleshed the whole thing out well. I felt like there was like some editing that was done since the last show, which again, the last show was very, very funny. So
Thank you.
this
Well,
was
it's a work in progress. I want to take. I will. I
and
appreciate
the confidence that you have up there is also just very. I was proud.
Thank you. That means a lot. I mean, it's like it's a show I'm proud of. It is it is my life. You know, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's all true stories that I make funnier. You know, like Candace, did you connect with the material?
It'd be funny if she was like, no.
No, not particularly. Not for me.
I don't pretend to be gay with my brother, but
Out of context, it might not make sense.
yeah, no, I thought it was hilarious. I've never seen you live. I've seen your special,
Oh, amazing.
but you're different on stage.
How so?
Like it's a very crafted storytelling, like the way that you're able to go from story to joke.
Well-
where I'd be laughing about something and then you take it back to the story and I was like, oh, I forgot we were laughing about that too.
That means a lot to hear. Thank you. That's a very nice review. And it is my growth as a comedian. I have I know what I like to do now. Like I like in the special. I'm not gonna there were holes in the special. Like I would point them out. Maybe if you loved it, thank you. I could point out the places where I was like, that still would have gone back
That's
or whatever.
like any bride on her wedding day,
That's right.
you know?
Right. I could nitpick. The new hour plus whatever it is like. And listen, comedians. I don't sound it right now. Are pretty humbled on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
When I work on it, it's in 15-minute chunks at the Comedy Cellar. You know, this is, and then to be able to go on the road and do the full hour, like I'm like, oh, this is it. This is, so if Papa Netflix or Ms. Netflix is listening,
Miss HBO.
Miss
who knows?
HBO,
Yeah.
Miss Hulu,
works.
anyone. Peacock, I am open for business, taking applications for the special because I think I
mean,
put it
you
again.
did 2 sold out shows down hall. Those are like what 1,400
seats.
people person vented 2,800 people that you performed for.
I'm excited about it. Like I would put it like, listen, you want to bring someone to my show? I can say you should bring someone to my show. Like you will not. If you're like, oh, maybe they don't like you up. they're gonna,
they're gonna love it. It's the same but different. If you
Same
love,
but
if you
different.
love You Up, you're gonna love the show. If you don't love You Up, I don't know why you're listening, but
what are you doing
still
here?
might like the show.
Right. If you have a friend that you've been trying to convince, maybe it's their entryway to this show. I'm proud of that. I don't know. I really like doing it, and like it's about my family, and my family's seen it, and some people are like, "Are they okay?" And I'm like,
I don't think it's it's more insulting to you than them.
absolutely, and they're fucking true stories. They gotta own it. I'm not making anything up. I'm not some other comedian who makes up stories to make you like him more. So,
exactly.
All right, I'm on the road. Chicago, there's a few tickets left. Charleston, Minneapolis, Royal Oak, Boise, Idaho, Olympia, Washington, Vancouver, Denver, San Francisco, McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, which is Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Someone DM me. They're like, "You said McKee Rocks, and some people might get mad." I'm like, "Who? And what crazy person?"
People in Pittsburgh just trying to get mad.
Right. What are you looking for things? Columbus, LA, New Orleans, Dallas, Nashville, jaredfreed.com. But we have more to talk about.
Yes. So
Something very specific to the show.
We had a big week. We saw each other a lot last
Right,
week.
we
We said the show was well, I guess I didn't technically see you at the show. But we recorded, we did the apartment tour, and then we did the Valentine's mixer.
And I have to say, the Valentine's mixer. Candace, was that your event? Do you take ownership on that event?
I do. But mainly because you guys put it out there that people need to go and meet at bars, get off the apps. We kept having listeners complain. And then they would message me frantically from the bars over the weekend going, "Okay, what now?"
Okay. What do you mean, what now?
Now they want you
Talk
to
someone.
like
That's
walk
where
them
they were
through.
like, "What do I do? I'm here."
Now you take a nap, then you wake up and order dinner.
Right.
And so I just wanted to put them all in the
And
same room where we got a witness for ourselves. You were there, so
Congratulations.
Had any help.
You got A+.
Yes.
You crushed it.
I have to say, I was a little nervous.
I was too.
These things are often hit or miss, more often miss,
Yes.
I think.
It's just like when you hear singles mixer,
Right.
it is code word nerd.
Great advertisement for the show.
I just think nobody wants to be the person that tells someone else they're going to a singles mixer.
Right.
You
Yeah.
just-
It doesn't
not
sound
good
as-
branding.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't. Well, it's like selling people you met on an app. I think that there's like
I think it's where app is more normalized.
You think?
Are you kidding me? If I was like, "Oh, I'm going to a singles mixer," I don't think you're gonna be like, "And then I'm gonna go home and fuck." No,
Right. Yeah.
you're like, "I'm gonna go home and play chess." Like it doesn't ring. And I know I sound bad, but I'm just
I
like,
think that's true. I think that the people have, because it's kind of like there's a feeling of you don't want to be seen as trying too hard.
right.
And there's a feeling of if you're attending a mixer, it's like, wow, you must really want this.
Right. You must be really lonely. Like, I walked in and I was like, wow, this is great. Immediately.
Yeah.
The bar buzzing, but not too busy. We got to give a shout out to Plug City.
Cooper's.
What is it called? Cooper's Craft and Cocktails. They got to change their name. I think it's a name.
They changed the name and I think changed the front. 'Cause
Yes.
once you walk in,
Different
totally
place.
different vibe.
Absolutely. It was date night. It was
Thank
Thursday.
you, thank you for hosting us, Cooper's. Here's all the things we want to change.
I mean,
So-
Cooper's must be doing well. They have 2 locations in the city,
Yeah.
but like, people need to know this is a first date spot. This is
great lighting for a first date.
great lighting, great buzz. I don't know how to, right?
Good vibe. Yeah, it was like the perfect, like I agree, buzz / vibe of like there's things happening, but it's not like, oh my God, there's too much happening.
Absolutely, and places to sit.
Yes.
It's not the person at the door. Well, I'll take you to your seat, madame. No, it's like, let's go chill. Let's have a
Fun,
drink.
loose.
You can have a cocktail. I mean, cocktails in the name, but like, you look at the front, you go, I'm not getting a martini here. And then
That's
you
what I'm
walk in,
saying.
you go, I'm getting a martini here. Like I was drinking, I was having a good time. So Buzz, yes, great spot. Can't recommend it. I mean, in completely the opposite of where I had my date with Nora, where I'm sitting like a frog on the floor, okay,
Right.
with the music next to me. Like completely the
This
opposite.
was a great date
This
spot,
is a
yeah.
first, second date spot. Go to Cooper's. I can't.
Yes. Plug City.
Then the people, everyone was like,
Great.
good looking, fun, friendly. The name tags had your name,
Celebrity crush,
and thing I like to rant about.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes.
I put one on.
We wanted to make it feel like reflective of the show. And I think that's also why the people seemed great. They're fans of the show. They have the you up sensibility. They're not taking themselves too seriously. They're having fun with it.
Right. I couldn't agree more. We were going to play Red Flag Deal Breaker.
We had it in our back pocket.
It was in our back pocket. Like, if the vibe was off. Again, because we were both a little nervous. What's this going to be?
Might have been weird. Yeah.
Could have been weird. It was already so good. We said, no.
Right.
We're not going to make this about us. This isn't about us. We want people to meet. I think us getting in front and being like, ding, 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 bring attention, it would have ruined it.
The feedback, though, that's the one thing people wanted was for us to do a beginning, kickoff, announce, not even necessarily a game, but here we are.
Right. Well,
here you are. Go speak to each other.
That was the weird part about it is going up to people and being like, thank you for coming. Like they were at my daughter's wedding. It was a little bizarre.
Right.
But it was
a lot of people exchange numbers.
So a smashing success as far as people meeting and interacting and being in a physical space in real life. I will say, we write to edit. I think there's this was so good, but
great start. But
the issue was getting men. That was our issue.
Yes. I think this is the issue for all of these
dating
types
events.
Of things. Yes.
So, and there is a thing and when the women hear that, I'm sure it's even harder for them to come.
Right.
To the event because they're and I did, sometimes the women would come up to me and they'd go, they're comfortable talking. They know me. So they're like, Jared, where are the men? I think what the women do at these events is they look at, and listen, men have their horrifying things they do. I'm not, this isn't, what about when men do this? No. Let's just,
right.
The women will come up to me, they'll go, where are the men? And I'm like, they're right here.
No, they're like where are the other men?
Right. They're like, I've seen these ones before. It's almost like a t-shirt rack they've already gone through.
Right.
And I'm like, well, this is what we got. And this isn't because the men that were there got dressed up. Not one guy that I was like, who's this asshole?
Friendly,
nice, respectable, all good things. The one thing I know is just the women. They come in, they're like. It was vultures. It was
here's the thing. We had over 700 applicants, most of them women.
Yes.
And we picked our favorite woman.
No, they were great. I'm just saying this was so we know the issue.
Right.
Where are the men? And not to say that the men that I hope this doesn't sound like I'm downing the men that came because they were great.
They were great. Yeah.
I think they just want
more.
Yes. They're these women are pigs. So I think what we should do next time.
We have a few edits. So we'll start with you have my first edit is that I want to call it a party.
Yes.
And not a mixer.
The You Up party.
I think the You Up party sounds like something I'm excited to tell my friend about.
Right.
The You Up mixer, I feel like a little bit more hesitant.
It's a little bit old.
Yes.
Rings old. It rings nerd. It rings, embarrassing, lonely, loser.
But thank you for everyone coming.
Yeah.
And then you had an idea to get more men there.
I think every woman should have to bring a man to get in.
A single man?
It's single,
Doesn't have
not
to be
single.
doesn't have to be single.
I think just bring a man.
What if it's your boyfriend?
No.
A man that you are not dating.
A man you're not dating.
Okay.
And listen, you can get that man however you want to get that man.
It.
You go on Tinder that day, find a man, I'm going to a mixer.
I love it.
I don't even care how you get it.
That's your price of admission.
Just bring a human.
I love it. Bring a man.
And
I have to say, I met a lot of women who met other women there.
Yes, that was a big thing.
Not to date. Maybe. But what mostly it was kind of because I think a lot of women I spoke to were like, I'm in a position. All my friends are in relationships. I feel like I'm the only single one left. So it's great to be able to meet like a fun like a fun, cool person that I can now go out with.
Every comedian has tried the bit of how hard it is to make adult friends.
Right.
It's just a bit people go for. It is hard. That is just a thing that's hard. And I think the men would be I think the men probably met too. Like I think like making a friend, that's a good thing. And I've said on this podcast for years, the friend luck.
Yes.
Like the potluck dinner, bring a friend. And it's funny, like we've been saying it for years and then we just didn't do it.
Right.
We should do it.
Well,
like
we'll
I
have
think
another.
if you're sitting out there being like, I don't have any male friends or I don't have any female friends, you got married friends.
Yeah.
It forces you, what it does is forces you to reach out to these people and have an uncomfortable conversation that maybe, hey, and also when you say, I'm going to this U Up party and I got to bring a guy, do you know any guys that would want to go? Now it's giving you the
You're making
starting
it not
point.
about you necessarily. It's more about like it's like inviting someone to a group hang.
Yes, you have
Less
a
vulnerable
reason
than a one-on-one.
I mean, my God, it's less vulnerable. How vulnerable is it? Can I meet one of your single friends? Ugh, no. But hey, I have a party I'm going to, and it's a weird party, but they make you bring a single guy. Do you know anyone that like it would be good to bring?
Yeah.
How much easier is that?
Great initiative for Fuck Around February.
Fuck Around February is going on right now. So I left the event and got brought to the Locks Club event.
Brought by what? Your chauffeur?
My
What?
chauffeur.
Brought by who?
Jeremy Jacobowitz of Brunch Boys fame. He's a big social media food guy.
Why wasn't he at our mix?
He was.
Oh, he was.
He
Oh, I didn't
came.
see
He's
him.
one of the men.
I missed him. Okay. Sorry.
Queen Jordana.
Should have said hello.
Yeah,
Follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, no, he was
Okay.
there, and
Okay.
and he was like, I have this other event. I was like, this is going on tonight, and I had heard that Locks Club, the dating app, does these events,
Right.
and that they're good. So I'm like on a fact-finding
Check
mission.
out the competition.
That's right.
See how, cross enemy territory.
That's right. So I was like, I just want to go check it out. And I went with him, and he like got me in because they're kind of, I guess they've made them exclusive in the way we made ours exclusive.
Sure, yeah.
And it was more DJ, and I was getting there at the end, but it was like DJ, dark lights, like
Okay.
no,
Like
dim.
a club?
It was more club.
Okay.
It felt more like the asshole who goes, I got bottles.
Okay.
Felt young.
But Jewish.
It was Jewy. It was.
So
it
what
was
did
a
you
part-
like about it?
What I liked was there was definitely more men.
Okay.
I liked that it had like a sexier vibe, but that might be the timing that I'm walking in
Right.
on. There were like, I heard there were people making out at our mixer.
Yeah.
So there was, I see people making out. There was
They're making out publicly.
at ours.
And no, I'm asking.
At that,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
I saw two people
Okay.
making out. What am I, the editor of the school
Snaps-
newspaper?
snaps a few pics.
Ooh. So
Okay. So theirs was like a rager.
a little bit of rager. I think the middle is what we want to get
Right.
to because we want people are always going to be nervous to go to any event.
Right.
But we want people to walk in and immediate vibe, like
Yeah.
feel it and also go, okay, I can't see the men here. I want them to go, I have to go walk around to see all the men here instead of the one rack of men that we had out. I don't know. I'm not trying to down their event. It's a different thing.
No, it sounds like it was very fun.
I walked around and I'm like walking around in my jacket. I look like a dad looking for their kid.
Chaperone.
Yeah. And then like people were like recognize me, which was very nice. But I'm like, it kind of looked like I was there to be recognized. Like it was a little embarrassing. So
I told you should have brought your Jared Freed condoms. Put them on the tables. Think of me tonight, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you in spirit. And then I left. I got out of there.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
but,
I like the inspo.
but maybe I think bringing someone of the opposite sex as your entry ticket, and then maybe like turn the lights down, at a certain point, or having a place to go to after. I think a lot of these mixers or parties, after parties.
Yeah.
I think it's like I like that ours was early.
Yeah.
I like the time of it.
It made it more like casual.
Totally.
I think, yeah.
I think if we just had a place to go after. We're gonna do post game. You know,
Right.
we used to do that in college. It'd be like we're doing
After hours.
After hours. So
Yeah.
like if we had another bar where there was another deal to be had, you know, I don't know.
Right, with lower lights and
just
more swinging music.
Right. Some swinging tunes. So yeah, it was just I was heartwarmed.
Yeah.
Were
I
you?
wanted to go. I mean, I was like, I'll go. I'll be there half an hour.
Right.
And then I'll leave. I was there like 3 hours. Like I was having a great time.
I was too. And to meet I can't just say this enough. The Menches. Like everyone was
great
like
sense of humor.
Yes.
Friendly. Like just attractive.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And yeah, I was really proud. I was like, we're doing good. You know, like I'm not saying like sometimes people send us messages that are very heartfelt, and I'm like, I don't know. I talk about farts on a podcast. What the fuck
Bringing
cares?
people together.
Right. This was like I was like warmed by it.
Yeah, and it felt like everyone had a similar sensibility. Again, I
Yes.
think if you're a listener of the show, and not everyone was a listener, but most of the people were
Right.
listeners, you get a certain like I like
Taste.
I have good taste.
Mhm.
I have a sense of humor. I'm
Nuanced.
I'm having some fun, and like here's other people like me.
But that's the whole point of bringing a friend. If you're connected in any way to someone else who's single and you come in arm in arm with them, they're going to be a lot like you
Right.
and a lot like the listeners.
And a lot like us.
And a lot like us.
So we're trying to not meet anyone not like us.
Right. So this is all good stuff. Anything else? Was there anything we missed?
And if you had no idea what the fuck we were talking about, didn't even know we had a mixer, it's because
A party.
I'm sorry, a party. It's because we gave our first dibs to the subscribers.
Yes.
So we didn't really talk about it that much on the regular episode. Another reason to subscribe to the show.
First
Yeah,
dibs.
first dibs on this kind of event, which again was amazing, but I think is only going to get better, tighter, everything.
Candace, I legit at the event was like, we need to have the next one planned. Like I was like, that's how excited I was. I was like, this is something. And people, the want to get out of the house and meet new people and be around, especially this time of year in February, the worst day of the year today.
You know?
Like, what an amazing.
We're almost over the hump, especially as we get into a more hopeful time period.
I mean, I can see outdoor cocktails, dreams, babies, marriages,
Yeah,
blowjobs.
it's gonna be us.
That's it. That's it. Let's jump right in.
Let's do it. Okay.
What are we talking about today?
Today we have a special question. We're gonna need Jorge's input. So Jorge,
Jorge.
make sure you're getting mic'd
Get
up.
that mic.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Jorge, what do you think of this event? Did you hear about it?
I heard about it. It sounded amazing. I'm sad I couldn't make it, but maybe I'll be there for the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you want to see all of the U Up cast of people like that there were the U Up cast of characters. There.
Right.
Right. The U Up universe, as you call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
that's-
That was the day after we filmed, or it was the same day we
was the
filmed
night,
the
yeah.
apartment tour, which
Yes.
I'm furiously editing as we speak. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
coming
You
out
seem
good.
busy. Is it going to be good?
It's going to be great. There's some great stuff in there.
How many
so.
minutes did we get it down to?
So we had an hour and 20 minutes of footage.
My God.
Right now,
For a
just got to
studio
the bedroom, Jared's bed,
Where the magic happens.
and I'm 7 minutes in. So
Oh, so we got more to go.
way more to go. So I think total length is going to be 10 to 12 minutes.
That's
but-
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a,
That's
that's a
not
sweet
bad.
We'll see,
spot.
we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. I was telling Naomi again about the episode, and she was like, oh, that's like so like nice and kind of like vulnerable that he like let you in his apartment. And I was like, yeah, it was like an hour and 20 minutes. And she was like, it was an hour and 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, we went through like all of his drawers and cabinets. And she's like, that's not an apartment tour. That's like a search warrant.
Right. It did go
Yeah,
long,
like-
but there was a lot to talk about.
We got into it.
This idea that this was vulnerable, I don't know. I guess maybe I put myself out there in ways
I think
to
you're
be.
like letting someone into your space.
I mean, I
You're-
got my
you're-
tarot cards read. I talk about the subscriber episodes. I mean, I'm sitting there, tearing up, telling,
But it's like
this.
you're letting everyone in. I think in a different kind of way.
I guess I agree. To me, I was like, no, I mean, like,
Well, it's like what if you were like, okay, like now we're gonna film you opening all your mail, or like you're opening your text messages.
I am
Like,
very
we're all
okay.
gonna-
Well, I think that's why I get so sensitive to like angry feedback.
Right.
Because like I only come in with like I'm okay to be the buffoon. I'm gonna always be honest in the most respectful way I can be honest.
Right.
So when someone's like angry, I'm almost shocked. I'm like, all right, I wasn't like coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, it's good. It was a great
Just
tour
because I called you a nerd for going to a singles mixer.
that we were also at. That we and everyone.
Yeah,
else-
I'm the fucking
yes.
nerd.
We're nerds.
What shoes are you wearing? I almost got ones just like those. I like those.
They were sent to me by Nike.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Back in the day when you got the
Oh.
original Nike ones.
Yes,
and
I
then
remember.
I got these. If anyone wants.
That's a nice looking Nike. I almost got ones
Yeah, I
just
got a
like
nice
those.
little
All right.
deal. We could be matching.
We would have literally worn the same thing.
That's
today.
very fun. We're wearing light jeans, black top, and Nike sneakers.
Yeah,
It's very
I'm
fun.
a Nikes too.
Fucking,
Look
we're
at-
fucking twins.
Oh my god. We didn't even plan this. Yeah, we did it. Okay.
You up twins? Okay, let's.
Let's jump right
It's
in.
very funny that we're fucking matching.
Exact same thing. It's crazy.
Only I had a yellow hat.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yellow, neon, yellow.
I don't know
Isn't
what
it
green.
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 What if this was the episode we found out Jordana's colorblind?
I am a little colorblind. Like I don't. I have dulled senses, is what I like to
You
say.
do?
I don't have like a very sharp sense of like taste or smell or sight.
Interesting.
Dulled, yeah.
Oh, okay. Listen. We learn new things every week
I don't
here.
have the sharpest of senses. That's why I'm not in.
I
that
thought
kind
I
of
saw you
field.
bump into a wall back there.
I have bumped into many walls.
Have you ever
before.
walked through a door that's like a clear
Oh, yeah.
window door, then you walk into the window?
I was once about to go on a date when I was like 25, and I was texting while I was walking, and I had my music very loud, and I walked directly into a tree on the side of the New York City streets.
There's not even any trees here.
I know there's like no trees, right? There's like a tree every 2 blocks.
Right.
So that's why I guess I didn't see it coming. I walked literally, and then I fell on the floor, and then this guy who's next to me was like, "Are you okay?" And then I had like a
I hate the "Are you okay" guy. Shut the and they're being the nicest. Anytime you fall and they're, "Are you okay?" Shut the fuck up! Get away from me!
just like charged right into this fucking thing. It must have looked insane because I was just like looking. And then I had this date, but I had this like bruise on my head that was like the shape of like a continent.
Oh my god! So did the guy notice? Did you have to?
I
you
went
probably
home
called
and
it out.
I went, but I put on like a lot of makeup to cover it up. I'll find the picture and
Please.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to Candace for the Instagram. I'll send it to you.
Women have pictures of everything.
Oh my god, this
Are
was
you
like
kidding?
hysterical.
From 25, you saved this pic.
Yeah, well, it doesn't cost anything.
I know. I don't even like when it's like one of those.
I have receipts for everything.
everything.
Oh, I have it right here. It's my first favorited pic.
That's hilarious. Oh my god! Send this. We got to put this on the.
And I went on a date.
It is the size of a continent. When you said continent, I was like, why would you describe it that way? This is a continent.
This is a continent bruise, and I can't believe I went. I was down for whatever. The
Yeah.
guy was pretty hot.
Did you have to call it out? Did you call it out before the date? How did you?
I don't remember. I just remember it wasn't a thing. So I must have either covered it up very well or I don't think I would have told. I don't think I was confident enough to have told that story on a date.
Let's
It's too
call the
embarrassing.
guy right now. He's like, hello?
He's probably like, "Who are you? I don't remember you. This was 10 years ago."
I'm married
That's
with
an
children
enormous
now.
bruise, is it not?
Country of Madagascar. On your
Right.
Walked directly into the tree. Anyway, not the best at my surroundings.
Senses.
I'm actually quite low street smarts, I would say.
Streets. But you said senses, and now you're on the streets. I think
it's sort of like a.
You're like the opposite of Daredevil, which is like Daredevil is a Marvel character with heightened senses, but he
Yes.
can't see. So you're like
I'm like everything is just like a little below average,
dimmed.
except for my brain.
There we go. Whoa. Yes.
Yeah, but you know those people.
Heightened brain
I'm not just like
activity.
I don't have like I have like the worst sense of direction. Like anytime I get out of a subway, you know
That
when
I
you-
knew about you.
You know when you have like a hunch when you get out of the subway, and you're like I don't take the subway, and then you're like, oh, it's this way, and then I always start, and then I always turn around because it's always. And I actually started doing a thing where when I get out and I have a hunch, I go the opposite of my hunch.
You
and,
George
and that
Costanza.
works.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's That's hilarious because I've seen you go the wrong way.
all the time.
Yeah.
Almost
Wow,
every
this
time.
is,
Anyway, yeah.
What a great worst day of the year this has become.
You guys are gonna get excited to see my scar.
I mean, it is. I didn't think I'd be as shocked as I was.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it's
I
crazy.
mean, you can just imagine me, like the visual of me walking into that tree to get that.
Right. Are you okay? I hate the "Are you okay" guy. Well, it also makes more sense that you would save the picture. Like now,
Yeah, I mean, the whole
that-
story is.
I have a date that night. I got to take a picture, send it to my friends. Can you believe this?
And the best / worst is that you're listening to music so loud that you have like a soundtrack as you like.
What was the song? Do you remember?
I don't. I wish I did, but it was something.
Hey
like,
now,
it was-
you're an all-star. You got your
What?
game on.
What?
Dung.
It was. I just remember feeling like this was like a very weird song to very
There's
quick.
no song that wouldn't be
to
weird.
swiftly walk into a tree. Anyway, we digress.
Well, a little bit. Let's jump right in.
Yes. All right. Hi, J&J and Jorge. Love the pod and have loved Betches forever. This is kind of an opposite of an Are We Dating, and I need your thoughts. I went on a decent first date with this guy about 2 weeks ago. The second date was really good. Best date in a long time. Without boring you with the details, we ended up having a Valentine's Day 3.5 date that was very sweet. What is a 3.5 date?
That means they went to another bar after the date, probably extended.
Maybe?
Yeah, I would say that.
Maybe a
the-
sleepover?
The date was like drinks, and then it got extended. Yeah, maybe they went to each other's house or something.
Okay. I was thinking that maybe like they met in person. Oh, did they say how they met?
Oh, when saying goodbye. So
Okay. Does it say where they met on Hinge? Okay, so that doesn't work. I was gonna say because if you meet in person, I consider that like a half date.
right. Well, that was the kind of the part of the mixer. Not to go back to the after party that we had. It was like, I'm sure a lot of like the thing is like we all got dressed up and I got to like do a bunch of first dates
Right.
in one hit. So like it took that is the
half
first
date,
yeah
yeah.
the half date.
But anyway, that's not what they meant. When saying goodbye, he kind of asked if I wanted to keep dating and mentioned he was going to delete Hinge. The Hinge part was more of a statement than a question, so I didn't address that on my part. My issue is at this point, we've only just barely made out. I don't mind taking things a little slow physically, so long as there's something there, but the mismatch in the physical versus the relationship vibe is throwing me off. Is this weird? What do you think? Am I complaining about a good guy who likes me? Besides this, it's pretty much all green flags. My mind can't help but wander into all the weird reasons of why there might be this disconnect. He's from Puerto Rico and definitely more of a Jorge than a Jared, so I would love his POV too. Sincerely, am I dating a Jorge and I've only ever dated Jared?
Wow. Little bit insulting to me.
I guess
Little
we are
bit. We
not
could-
0% away from
I
each
guess
other, Jared.
not. Switch chairs. I'll start editing. What do you think,
I'm excited to
Jorge?
hear the differing views.
I think this is great. I don't see anything really that terrible about this. Like the dates were great. He's obviously very much into her. And as I've said before, like I think the best way of finding out whether you want to date someone is to date them. So I think this is great. I think, he took his shot, and if this makes you kind of second guess whether you should be seeing him or whatever, then exactly that's the reaction that he was looking for. He was looking for some sort of reaction.
Right.
Right.
And if this kind of pushes you away, then that is the answer. Like you're getting the answer to the question that maybe you would have gotten 5 dates in. You're getting it now because he, made a very clear step in a direction that he wants to go in.
Right. Listen, I agree with everything Jorge's saying. That was my thought is like, this guy did a reveal. You're on the other side of a reveal.
Right. It's usually the women who are encouraging to do the reveal. This guy, maybe he's a listener, did the reveal and exactly how we would suggest that he do the reveal.
She even says it. It was a statement. I'm deleting the app. I'm going to make more time for this. And I think she's like and listen, I relate. She's more like me. Like to me, she's not realizing she's the Jared.
That's true, yeah.
It was me the whole time. You piece of shit. No, because she is going, I've got revealed on. And
Yeah.
she's basically saying, this is uncomfy. Now, like Jorge's saying, like
Yeah.
she is admitting I am uncomfy by knowing that someone is ahead of me, which is
Right.
okay to admit. I think you do have to give yourself grace, her, and this is me speaking to me.
Well, how do you feel if there's anyone done something like that to you?
I would say
as a fellow Jared.
a fellow Jared, I would say you have to let him know. I felt a little weird. I do want to keep dating you. She's got to
Would you say that to someone?
Yeah, I think I
would?
have.
Okay.
I'm not ready for this. I am ready for this. I'm toying with this. I need to
not
chew
there
on
yet.
it. I need time. I wish I was where you are. You know, maybe there's a little bit of
He just
envy.
gave you like 16 lines to give him back.
Right.
This is not your first rodeo.
Right. I think she's so obsessed with him owning his taste that she's not owning hers, as Jorge just said. Like, and again, it's okay to say this hand isn't yours to play.
Right.
I think, but it's also okay to go, I need more, the way I date, I need more time. I'm going to, and also I think
I need
she
to
can.
have sex with you first.
Let me see that big cock before I make any decisions.
I
don't.
I mean, I do think if you
We'll
had
buy the house from the Zillow pictures.
do not say that. Some people do in
Do
a
they?
desperate market. You've ever seen those people who buy houses sight unseen, like in COVID?
Sight unseen. Do they go to it? They just pictures?
Sight unseen. That's then you don't.
Oh, that's what that means?
Yeah, when you haven't seen it, but you like people would buy like houses in Florida or something, like from New York, just just from the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's kind of doing that, but I think what she's overrating, him saying this isn't him being like, let's get married, and I would do the same thing.
Right.
She's a Jared. So I would get like, oh my God, now we have to like do this. And what if this happens? And what if that happens? And I'm saying to her, I'm saying to me, give it a chance. Like just because you aren't where he is doesn't mean that you're being a dick. Yet.
No, I agree. And I mean, like, it seems like what she's maybe saying, but not saying, is that she's like a little turned off by that. I don't know.
I mean, it made her question. When Jorge's
that's
like,
why you should never tell anyone how you feel.
she was forced to come to terms with her feelings. That's what a reveal does. This is why the reveal is good advice.
Well, kind of like
she's getting smoked out.
Could you be really into someone and still have a hesitation? Like, have you felt that way on a third date? If a woman said, "I deleted the apps," could you be really, or would that be like the kiss of death for you? Not because they deleted the apps, but like,
I don't know. I that hasn't happened.
Does it get rid of the mystery of the dating?
I guess, but I want to believe. I guess I want to believe that I could.
Right.
Like go, oh, this person's so sure, but sometimes them being so sure and you being so unsure makes you go, maybe I want to feel like that.
But here's the other thing, though, is like some people just take longer to feel like that. Some people are never going to feel that after 3 dates, and some people feel that after 3 dates all the time.
Right. That's why I'm saying that's why she needs to let herself do that.
Right.
You know,
she's not wrong.
And saying
he's not wrong.
No, and maybe taking a little bit of Jorge from him. Like maybe going, okay, I'm going to delete the apps too, and let's just see what happens. But that doesn't mean more than anything than I'm deleting the apps with you.
Right. I would be surprised if a guy said this to me before sleeping with me.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to know. It does feel like a little bit of a grift.
Right. Part of me would be like a little worried that after we slept together, he might change his tune.
Jorge, do you mind being revealing? Were you guys physical before
you were
entering into
exclusive
or no?
We weren't. I mean, it was a bit of a, the situation was a little unique because we had the first date and then I left for China for 3 months.
Right.
But yeah, after our first date, we weren't physical. But
right.
We did talk for months, just like through text and on FaceTime or whatever. So things developed a little bit slower, but there was no physical connection during that time that we kind of fell in love with each other.
Right.
And to me, that's not super important in terms of building a life with someone. Like, and I don't think it was for her as well. That's our taste, and for different people that might mean different things. But to me, this doesn't, like, not being physical with someone doesn't disqualify them from being open to a relationship.
No, I agree.
In my mind.
I totally agree with that. I think that it happened for a lot of men, and I think you've said this before, so maybe I've just internalized it. Like, maybe your brain works a little differently before and after.
There's some yeah. I mean,
Like you maybe see more clearly a little bit.
right. I
after?
think maybe it's more the things you knew before become, like more apparent.
Okay.
I'm not
That's what I'm
saying,
saying, you're
like,
seeing a little more
seeing a little
clearly.
clear.
Yeah.
Well, and you
Not
all-
for all men.
No, but
I'm
I think when a
clear.
guy leads with "I'm going to delete the apps," maybe he's more in tune with like
Right.
his
Unless he's like a manipulative monster, which
right. If this
seems
is a way to get
unlikely.
you into bed, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem. Yeah, I think this like I need to see how we fuck before we're in a relationship is overplayed. Like I think that's like an over.
it's more just
Exact-
like I think there's the trope of like I slept with him
Right.
and then he like pulled back.
Well, I think that I slept with him and then he pulled back. Like again, what you're saying is correct. But I think it's more. To me, it's manipulative or he means it. And there's less chance. I think there's less crazies out there than people want to believe. Like I think he'd be a monster. Hey, let's be in a relationship and then have sex. Ooh, I'm not sure.
Right.
Like I think it's more likely to be like a guy who's like more the what Jorge's talking about in his relationship, where you're like, no, that stuff like we'll figure. Like that's not why I'm doing this.
Right. I'm doing this because I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it.
Right, and I'm gonna
Situation.
see what this is all about. I don't know. This is so much easier to like see what it's all about. Is so much easier to say than do.
Right.
Like it does feel all or nothing. I think maybe this person might be worried too that like I don't want to put so much pressure on the physical stuff. Like let's say I dive in now, it's like the only thing I need,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's bad. It's like I don't know if you would be as surprised. Like I think when two people hit it off, then the physical stuff is easier.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the more you like someone, I think I don't want to say the less it matters, but the better it's gonna be.
And the more you
Right?
talk to each other
Yeah.
during that stuff, like,
Yeah.
hey, it's easier to say to someone you connect with, what are you into?
Right.
You know,
Than,
like if-
someone that you're superficially dating.
right.
So-
I think maybe this person, it might do them well. Like maybe have a little sexy talk with them, little hot and steamy text.
Yeah.
A
Tell him
la
you'd like
Jorge,
to-
I'm sure you were doing from China to here,
For
like,
sure. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure that conversation, but I think maybe if you've not even had a makeup, maybe you haven't had those conversations, and maybe the conversations will make it easier to see what this could be without
Right.
all that stuff happening already.
Right. Yeah, and I always think about something that Adam Pally said when he came on, which is when you really like someone, you should care less about the details as opposed to more.
Right.
Right.
Like the more that you're really into someone, the less that these like little aspects of life that you can divide into can really affect the outcome of a relationship. Like you can work through so much more if you're really in love with someone, or not
Right.
that they're in love, but if you're really kind of committed to making something work, you don't have to kind of mess with the details as much.
Right.
Right.
The ick doesn't exist when you really like
Right.
someone. You're not like, how
Yeah.
could I be with someone who sits crisscross applesauce?
Right. It's
like
more
you-
when you're
you-
on the fence that those
Right.
things stand out more. That's a good point.
Right. I don't. I to this person, as a Jared,
As a fellow Jared.
as a fellow Jared, I would say advice I'd give to myself: see it out a little bit more.
Mhm.
That would be. What do
Yeah.
you think,
I think
Jorge?
that's-
What do we?
yeah.
Jordana?
I agree with that. I think you could do exactly what we said and tell him you're still, you're not quite there yet, but you're having a good time. If you're having a good time, which sounds like she is. And then I don't think you owe anyone. It's not like you've been dating for a year
Right.
and it's crunch time.
I totally agree. I think try it out. See what happens.
Right.
With a fellow Boricua? Yeah, go
That's
for
right.
it.
Go Bodiquas.
Do you think Puerto Rican men are more like this?
Maybe a
Generally?
little bit more romantic generally, but I don't see a huge like cultural difference in the way that Puerto Rican men date in general.
Okay.
But
The Puerto Ricans still fuck. They-
All right. We're not generalizing
No.
being a strong committed dater to all Puerto Rican men.
the next mixer will be in Puerto Rico. You know,
I would love that. I could use
I
some
would
sun.
do anything. Yeah. Okay,
it.
so we presented this challenge to fuck around February, and we wanted to extend it into March because it's already the
Basically
end of
March,
February, and we want people to keep doing this. But this is a story to inspire people.
Indeed.
Want me to read it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dear J&J, thanks for making dishwashing so entertaining. In college, my friends and I adopted the mantra, it's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed. So in the spirit of Fuck Around February, I wanted to help spread awareness on how fun and silly it can be to flirt with whoever you want to.
Okay.
I live abroad and I was home visiting for about a week. My friends and I decided to go out one last time before I left the country again. It was a weeknight, so not many people were out and about, but we found a little karaoke bar and we decided to park it. My friends were unsure of the bar at first, but I convinced them to stay because it was a quirky crowd and held promise for a wacky night. This woman has great thesaurus work.
I love the word wacky.
Wacky's a great word.
Great word.
I like wacky and I like goofy.
Goofy's fun too. Also
Goofy.
Sounds like what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I like two great words. And I like stinks.
Stinks.
That
stinks.
stinks.
I like that.
After a few rounds, an old man asking me to film him singing in some terribly sung Taylor Swift songs, I was standing with my group of friends between the door and the bar when I saw a cutie enter. Something in my delusional mind told me gaslighting him would be a great way to flirt. It's all fun and games till a guy does it.
It's true.
As he passed me, I abruptly turned to him and said, "Are you going to apologize for bumping into me?" Oh my God. Wow. I would sprint away from this woman.
Okay. This would not be the way to flirt with you.
That's how we start accusations.
Depends. What if she said it's super flirty? Excuse me.
Just gonna bump into me? Just gonna bump into me with that fat cock of yours? That's the only way that it would work.
That sounds like someone just got out of prison. Trying to pick a bar fight.
Right. He immediately started defending himself as to why he did not bump into me and said, "If you wanted to talk to me so bad, you should have just said hi." Thank you. This could have gone one of two ways, but he got a kick out of it. He had already called his Uber to go home. Him and his friends were just stopping to pick up food from the karaoke bar.
Why didn't he just order
right.
food there?
But he canceled his Uber after this line. We chatted and giggled the rest of the night, and he shared his pizza with me. So cute. I decided my next karaoke song was so cute. I dedicated my next karaoke song to him, and we had a juicy make out at the to end the night. My friend and his friend even started hitting it off as well. We love this. Me and Karaoke King exchanged contact info, but I also flew back to the country I live in, and we haven't spoken since. That's okay, though, because now we both have a silly little story to tell at the brunch table. I highly endorse Fuck Around February. To anyone contemplating it, it's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed. Sincerely, a shamelessly flirty bitch.
What a fun story.
Fun story. How about if she's still single? Text him now.
What should she text him?
I
doesn't live there.
Hey, I just sent in the story of us meeting to this podcast.
Yeah.
Thought it was fun. Just wanted to say hi.
Here's the link.
Here's the
Put
link.
it on your story.
Yeah, and then maybe I don't know, maybe something happens. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, the best part about this story is like the low expectations, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun. And I think probably her not living there also added to that, like,
Absolutely.
nothing to lose.
Right. And it shows how the apps add pressure.
Right.
You know,
'Cause you can't scream at someone for bumping into you on the apps.
Right. Well, you're out. You go, I'll talk to this person. Your makeup's done. There's no run up.
Yeah.
There's no where we meeting.
No, it's true.
This is all
Yeah,
like all
you're
that
already
stuff just adds.
You're in the moment.
in it.
Love it.
This
Okay.
is an Are We Dating scenario, an update from the 95% Girlfriend, the Valentine's Day episode.
Okay. So this was now 2 weeks ago.
If you haven't listened, go back and listen.
Yes, we're giving you an update on that email. I think you'll be able to tell which email it is from her email.
Right.
Okay. Hi, J&J. Valentine's Day was definitely the big reveal. Actually, maybe we'll do a little recap. So basically, on the last email, she wrote in an Are We Dating? We said she was dating.
Yes.
It was a guy who basically like wouldn't call her his girlfriend, but was doing all of the relationship-y things.
Yeah. And then she asked, "Are we dating?"
Yes.
And
we said yes.
But we told her she had to say something.
Yes, we said the only way they could really be like in a relationship is if she was willing to lose it,
Right.
and she said something. Okay,
So I guess she spoke.
I guess we'll find out what happened. Ooh,
Here we go.
hi Jane. This is the ideal brunch brunch table like recap.
Absolutely.
So I decided to do it.
I did it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm in. Yeah.
Hi, J&J. Valentine's Day was definitely the big reveal. As of Tuesday, the day before Valentine's Day, he hadn't made any plans or even acknowledged the day, 5 months into us seeing each other. I already hate him. Around 8 p.m., he sent me a text. Want to do something on Friday? The day before Valentine's Day? You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend this
This is
behavior.
this
5 months in.
Fucked up. Sorry, I'm very mad on her behalf.
I've sent nicer texts to enemies the day before.
That's the thing. That's what
Valentine's Day.
guys do this. They'll
Yeah.
like take a special moment and they'll like shit all over it by just acting like it doesn't matter at all.
Because Valentine's Day is a reveal.
Yeah. So is a birthday.
So is a birthday. Beware of Valentine's Day, birthdays, gifts.
Right.
I've added
imagine
gifts.
if someone texts you the day before your birthday. What are you do you want to do something on Friday? Fuck off.
Where's my replica candle?
I was furious, as you should be. We regularly get dinner during the week, so he was blatantly leapfrogging Valentine's Day. What does he think she's an idiot?
Right. That's the thing.
It's like insulting. I just responded, "Can you come by for a bit?"
Oh no.
That's not a good one.
That made me have a little shiver in my anus.
He was sending a strong message, and I knew I had to finally end it. That's the thing. Sometimes you need someone to act like a real piece of shit in order to gain the... Because when people are just kind of like generally nice, it's hard.
You say this all the time. He forced her into breaking up with herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him if he couldn't stomach calling this what it already was, a relationship, then I needed to shift my focus to people who actually want the same thing I do. He was very emotional and apologetic, explaining that he was worried any gesture on Valentine's Day would give me the impression he was ready for more than he was. Well, mission accomplished.
Well, guess you're dating a Jared.
Jorge would never do this.
Never.
Wouldn't be. It's not in his capabilities. After some back and forth, I gave him an out to leave, assuming he was probably uncomfortable. But he wouldn't take it. He stayed for the next 15 hours.
What?
We stayed up talking about everything under the sun, occasionally crying. Yes, him too. And cuddling.
Nerd. I'm
So-
kidding. I talk about crying here all the time.
What's your nerd count for today? I feel
A
like
lot
you're
of nerds.
7 or
That's
8 nerds. Okay.
Listen, a bunch of Poindexters have unsubscribed.
And cuddling until we passed out at 4:45 a.m. I tried to dig a bit to find the issue. I asked, on a scale from 1 to 10, how happy have you been with me? What is this, a survey?
I mean, my God, this is...
On a scale of
How
1 to
was-
5, how much were you thinking of introducing me to your mother?
On a scale of 1 to 5, would you hire this girlfriend? It's like, what is Delta?
Yeah, this is crazy. He said 9. Okay.
All right, how much happy? He can be a little
How
happier.
much happier could you possibly be? I asked if he's been dating other people. Nope. According to him, although he's always happy when we're together, when he's alone, he psychs himself out about picking the wrong one again. He acknowledged that if he wasn't currently out of work, he wouldn't have the time to overthink. It was so frustrating. When we woke up, he's blaming it on the job. That's annoying.
If I did...
I just have too much time to think about all your flaws.
Right. It's
so my fault.
It is showing the ego of a man that he is
It's like
jobless.
you have nothing else to do but date me.
You are right, and he's jobless.
Who else would
What
have
if
you?"
there's another woman out there who wants me?
Who else would have you? I'm like, that's the most insulting part.
Right. He's this jobless loser.
Has too much time on his hands to think about all the things that are wrong with me.
How about you think of getting a job?
When we woke up the next morning, the talking continued until after 3 p.m. when we
He had
finally...
the time. 3 p.m.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday, dude. Why
my
aren't you
God.
on Monster?
Where is she? Doesn't she have work? When we
Right.
finally decided it was time for him to go. Yeah, because I mean,
Oh,
Valentine's Day was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So-
well, she said
I even took a sick day from work. Okay.
she had to take a day off. She's losing sick days.
Oh my God. She's how much has she invested in this relationship? Sick days.
Right.
It was the most drawn out breakup, quote unquote, I'd ever had. Part of me wishes I'd been harsher, held back my tears, and kicked him out quickly, but I didn't have the heart to do it. I felt very validated by your advice, and I feel like I did the right thing. I'm not getting my hopes up about hearing from him again, but the chances are non-zero. Of course they're non-zero. You guys are the best. Sincerely, 0% girlfriend.
It's really well, good for her. Congratulations. It's really hard to end something, but it
Very
is
hard.
interesting that like he's the victim. Like she's
Right.
like, I should have done it quicker. Like,
No, I
but
think
I felt for the guy. She's holding on. She's asking him to be with her,
yeah.
and then going, I should have let him go quicker. Like,
I think she's more like for herself almost. Like
Oh.
when you have this like 15-hour breakup,
Mhm.
it only makes you kind of more attached to the person and more like into looking like it only makes you more confused. It's like, why is this person that doesn't want to be with me staying with
Right.
me for 15 hours when I'm breaking up with him? Like, because you want someone to like cut your head off or
Right.
like marry you. And
Right,
this
he's
guy
so
won't
unsure.
do. Yeah, I think she's more for herself.
right.
Because I've done that where you have like the prolonged breakup and then they're staying and you're like, well, this feels good because I'm still with the person. But like, maybe I should have ended it. Maybe I should have just like made this conversation quicker so that I had less to like dwell and replay in my mind and over and
Right.
over. And we're cuddling and, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think also for him, like, there's nothing she can solve. Like, I think that's the hardest part is like this guy needs to like walk out and go see a therapist.
Right.
Like that's his next move because
You think he will
he's a 9 out of 10
on the happiness scale?
happiness scale.
Where's
He's
the-
claiming.
Where's the extra point?
Right. It's out there somewhere. And he can't get to the next step. So something's in his way. And it's like I've been there.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
been in the boat where you're like it's
That's
in
a
my
very
stomach. I don't know
frustrating
what it
person
is.
to date.
Right.
It's a very frustrating person to date because you're kind of like, there's nothing for you to do with that.
Right.
You're like, why can't what? And then you take it very personally. It's like, why can't
And you're
you
not
say you like me a lot? We're physically attracted to each other. Why can't you just like be with me?
why can't you work on it with me?
Right.
And he's basically saying, I need to work on this alone without you. Because if I work on it with you, then I've made you work for me and
Mhm.
I've co-opted your time even more. Because what if we work on it together and I realize you ain't it?
Then you can end a relationship.
But that's the thing. And then I think he's avoiding
right.
a breakup, as we talked about in the last episode. Like, we were exactly right.
Yeah, I mean that's annoying. The annoying thing to me, if I were her, I'd be like, why don't we just try it? Why don't you just like be in a relationship, and if it's not working out, we can just break up.
Right. And he's living his life in fear of like being. I think there's this like this thing, and like men don't help each other with it, and it's not good. It's not good what we do. I talked about it in the special, the married men who are like, oh, you don't be single for the rest of your life. Like married people,
But they all
not
do
men.
it.
But they all do it. But they're all. Stop saying that to single guys. Like, I think this guy is like scared of like becoming this like.
Need more married men
Zombie-
like Jorge, just talking
Right.
about how fucking incredible it is every single day.
Every day is a good day in Jorge's world. I don't know. Like this is. I think that's what he fears is like. I'll be stuck, and then life is just
This is it.
regular. No,
No, I think it's like,
you know,
I mean, if I'm playing, if I'm her, I'm giving myself the worst take on his actual feelings, and I think some of it is true. Is he's thinking this can't be it because I don't feel it that strongly,
right.
and that's what he's not saying. He's like, and to say I'm gonna go into it and be in a relationship with you, it doesn't feel good to me because I don't feel like I've won anything.
Yeah. That's something he doesn't have the balls to say.
I mean, no one would say that. to
Right.
you.
It's
Yeah. But that's
it's
true.
less mean than what you just said is less mean. Because just because I don't feel like I win in this doesn't mean that there's no one out there that will feel like they won with you.
Right.
And
but
then
that's
that's
like,
a hard
it's not
thing.
Me, it's you.
Right.
It's not you, it's me.
Right. But I do believe that. I don't.
Well, that's the worst when you want us to be happy.
It's all we want.
So we'll get away from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
No, I mean
all
that's
you
like
want
the
is-
annoying thing because it's like it's just like what are you like is it that we didn't play hard to get enough? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't think that's the answer because that goes against everything. We're like no game playing,
Right.
You know, like, and it's because I don't think you can invent that out of whole cloth. Like, I don't think this guy would have, if we played like the sliding doors other version of how they meet, if she was just a little bit cagier.
Right.
Like, I think he would at some point, maybe it'd be later than today.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, he'd go, "Oh, this is it."
Well, maybe he'll feel that way about anyone, and maybe he'll be single for a long time.
She only hopes.
I would only hope. Well, I'm just saying, if it's like,
Yeah.
one thing if it's like, okay, this is a you. If the person's single forever, then it's like, okay, this is a you thing.
Right. I mean, listen, how many women have I dated? Oh, he still does a dating podcast. He's still single. They're probably thinking that about me. Oh, thank God.
But the joke's on us or them because like you're happy living every single day,
Waking
every
up
single
with no
day like it's your
alarm.
birthday.
Yeah.
Because the story we're telling your friends is like, oh, is he still single? It's like, yeah, he's fucking still single, still out there,
Right. Big loser.
still out there, big loser. And
and, then,
like,
and then I come on this podcast. I'm like, every day is my birthday.
that's nothing more infuriating.
Martinis. Martinis, travel,
Coffee,
workouts,
Delta-
saunas,
Delta One.
Delta One.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because in
and
our,
the
in our
only thing that could
minds-
ruin it is a woman. Make that a ringtone. Ringtones exist?
I don't think
Do I
so.
sound 100 when I say ringtone?
I'm sure you could make one. I haven't heard one in a long time. That wasn't like the standard.
What if my
buzz.
phone rang and it literally was me going, the only thing that can ruin it is a woman?
And it played on dates.
Oh, sorry, getting a text.
That's the speech he would have given. No, but I'm saying like that's what he's really
Right.
thinking. And again, you'll find someone who feels lucky to have found you.
Absolutely. You're going to be the prize one day. And not writing into a dating podcast twice a month.
Thank you
We
for
love the
sharing.
listeners. Thank you for
that
sharing.
was a great update.
Great up-
and
we love an update.
And we knew it would come. And here's the thing. She will hear from this guy again. I feel like she will. Do you not think so?
I don't like to say that. I don't want to give her false hope.
No, I'm not saying that he's going to like come back the way that she wants him to. I think
Oh.
he's just going to come back and like text her.
Maybe.
Be like, what's up? It's your birthday next.
If it makes
it's
you
your
feel
birthday
better,
next-
yes, he'll try and get you to blow him again.
That's the thing. I do think they always come back, but never the way that you want them.
Right.
He's going to come back when he's lonely.
Block him. Let's play some games.
Let's do it.
Send in your red flag or deal breakers to uup@betches.com, uup@betches.com. He shows up to the date with a black eye. Dear J&J, thank you for all the words of wisdom. I have a red flag or deal breaker for you. He shows up to your date with a black eye with no warning. Well, Jordana, we did just tell a story. Maybe you ran into a tree. Some context.
We'll have to decide after you read it
Right.
if how that would work.
I'd been seeing this guy for several months. We're both 27 years old, living in a big city. We made a date to go to a museum in our city in the evening. He said hello and went into the museum. And in the light, I could see he had a black eye. Of course, I asked him how he got it. He had blacked out the night before at a work party and claims he hid it on the toilet when throwing up from drinking.
It's funny. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe he's gonna try to make up a story that
Right.
like doesn't make this sound so bad. This is like the least flattering version of the story. I blacked out
At a work party.
at a work party, and then I slammed my head into the toilet.
While throwing up.
I'm looking for a serious relationship, though.
And when I came to on the bathroom floor, I was completely naked.
There's pizza everywhere.
Pizza on my face. I had puked a little bit on my penis. I couldn't get out of my balls. They still smell like puke. I never showered.
Oh my god.
Ready for the date? Part of me didn't believe this and wondered if he got into a fight and didn't want to say it. I mean, he chose a very weird
Yeah,
story
I
to put in its
agree.
place. Or two, he truly woke up with it and didn't remember. I think what bothered me most was how nonchalant and shameless he was. What do you think? We've since broken up for other reasons. But I've wondered what others might think and whether things should have ended sooner. Thanks. Sincerely, night at the museum gone awry.
Yes, things should have ended sooner. I mean, here's the-
I mean, if you were to say, was it like what you said is right? Like, let's do the math on whether he's ready.
right. I think there will be other things. This would be a red flag. Here's the thing. if this story happened and I'm like 23, it might just be a red flag. If he addresses the black eye immediately when he walks in. The fact that he didn't address it is crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's also like, I'm okay. Like, I'm an
Right.
adult. I'm okay. I'm at the
You have
museum.
to be ashamed.
Right. There has to be like maybe he needs some lifestyle changes. Like, you have to like be like a little bit reflective.
Yeah.
Like, listen, when I drink and black out and and that happens, I wake up the next day being like, Jared, what the fuck are you doing? Like you're blacking out. This is
At
not
a work party.
the work party makes it even worse.
I mean, if like you showed up to this podcast recording with a black eye, didn't say anything,
hey, everybody.
and then like I had to ask you about it, and you were like, "Oh yeah, blacked out. I hit my head on the toilet."
Right.
Like at a Netflix party. I would be like, you have a problem.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Right. That's why probably you tell me I don't. Is that look when I come in and say I had 8 pieces of pizza last night,
You need
I'm going, I wish I didn't do that. That I don't know. There's probably a name for that that's probably bad too. Someone's like, you're so reflective that you never get better. And you think just being reflective.
I don't know. For this kind of, I think this guy's worse.
Right.
A lot worse, yeah.
I hope so. He's no Jared.
Yeah, I would say deal breaker. Honestly, at a certain age, maybe red flag if he had brought it up and been ashamed about it. But
Need a proper amount of shame. This is a
Yes.
deal breaker. No shame. It's not something he thinks is a problem.
exactly.
Let's do another one.
Okay. He plagiarizes your Valentine's Day card. Hi, J&J, longtime listener from the Boston area. I just had my first married Valentine's Day and thought there was a good red flag or deal breaker that I'd love to hear your opinions on.
Tough one to deal break on that one.
Yeah. I'm like Jordana in that I love a card. My husband is very sweet and usually gets me a great card for all occasions and writes a nice short note in it. Short.
Uh-oh.
I have a quota. I have a word count quota. No, I do not. I do
Doesn't
not.
pass Jordana's sniff test.
Short. Okay. For Valentine's Day this year, he got me a really cute card with a long message in it that was so well written and thoughtful. I thanked him for the card and said that the writing on the inside was adorable and meant a lot. He candidly replied that he had copied the inside of another card he found and just rewritten it in another card. Oh my God.
Why would he say such a thing?
Idiot. This kind of annoyed me because how hard is it to come up with your own content?
It's pretty hard.
Or just don't admit that you copied Hallmark. So, Jordana, would love your thoughts on this and if Mike has ever done such a thing. Obviously, we're married and this is a dumb little thing, but if you were dating someone and they did this, red flag or deal breaker, Hallmark plagiarizer's wife.
It's weird how quickly he admitted to it. Like he
Yeah.
knew it was wrong.
Right. That's what I
Like,
mean. and
Why would
he
you
knew she
fuck
wouldn't-
up Valentine's
it
Day
defeats
like that?
the whole purpose.
Right. Do it or don't. Like, did he think it was
Right.
funny?
Yeah, that's like, it's kind of I would be like annoyed.
Yeah,
I
it's
wouldn't
weird.
I wouldn't divorce him. It's like a very embarrassing divorce story.
Yeah.
But I mean, has Mike done this? Not that I know of. No, because like the cards are personal. Like they're,
Right, that's the
filled
whole
with,
point.
filled with like specific examples of things from our relationship.
Right. What did the note say? You're as calm as the ocean.
Right.
Like,
I'm surprised
it's
she
like vague.
Exactly. I'm surprised she thought it was like so thoughtful and well written if it wasn't personal at all.
Right. Good. Good for Hallmark. Whoever does that card, they're pretty good at their job.
Bad for her taste.
That too.
I think it'd be like if I got a card that could have been written on any Hallmark card, I would have been like, this doesn't feel personal.
You would hope that you would.
Right.
know
I
that-
wouldn't be like, what a thoughtful and well written card. I'd be like, who is this for?
Right. Right. This could insert name
Yeah.
here.
Right. I think it defeats the purpose. So we would have a stern discussion about this.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
The way it was brought up is it's not a deal breaker because he said it. Like he knew.
Right.
So that makes it like he felt a little awkward about it. I think
Right.
if I'm to like go to my like detective hat.
Yeah.
I
think you could say like the whole point of the card that I like is that you write down like your sincere, real.
Right.
feelings
Roses are
about
red,
me.
violets are blue.
Right. This isn't like I'd rather a shorter, less well written card that's actually you.
What if it was funny and you were like, oh my, laughing and you're like, I didn't even know.
And it was from a Hallmark card.
And it was just like they copied like
Again, it
something. Yeah,
wouldn't be
it's-
funny to me unless it was personal. Like the best jokes are personal.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. No, this is an issue.
First,
Get a divorce.
Good luck.
Let's do one more.
Okay. Okay.
Dear J&J, one of my close friends is in grad school and
Alright.
still lives at home with her parents. Her boyfriend of several years sleeps over occasionally. When he does, instead of getting up and going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he pees into a Snapple bottle in her childhood bedroom. He also does this in his own home. He lives with his parents. Red flag or deal breaker?
This is very weird.
It's bizarre.
I don't know if it'd be a deal breaker if everything else was incredible, but I think it's a weird thing to do. It seems like he's very uncomfortable with
I just came up with a new game.
running into anyone.
This made me think of a new game, and
Okay.
it's inspired by the guy who tripped and fell and broke his shell.
Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah, and puked on the office floor.
Oh, okay.
How about, is he ready to be in a relationship or not?
Okay.
Because instead of, this isn't red flag deal breaker.
I
This
like
is
it,
like,
yeah.
to me, I'm like, you're dating a child. Like,
Yeah.
he can't go to the bath. He's going in. And the fact that he does it in his own home as well, like that makes it less of a problem. That means this is just him.
Right. Committed or commit him.
Right. Right. Could someone who does this commit to a real adult relationship? And the guy who pukes at his office party and blacks out, I would say chances are slim.
Right.
The guy who pees in the Snapple bottle at your house,
But
chances are slim. But then
Also at his house.
also at his house, chances are better.
Yes.
You know, because
Then
it's
that's
like
just-
a mental thing.
Then that's about him.
Right. You know what I mean?
What-
Do
so
we
you're-
understand the
yeah.
game that I'm presenting here?
You're with a woman. She pees in a Snapple bottle.
Quite a talent.
Very she has an
I'm
amazing
impressed.
talent.
Right.
At your house and hers.
I would be like, we got what traumatized you earlier in life?
Right. It would kind
that
of
made this happen.
Speak to like some sort of like weird childhood. Like, did you get like smacked for being loud going to the bathroom or something?
Right. I mean, I have things that I do that I can tell are from like
I know we found out in the apartment tour. The garbage.
the garbage. Yeah, I have like things from my child that I would not say on The Bachelor on the date to
Right.
make them like me more. But
yeah,
I
have those
those
too,
things.
like weird compulsions that are like
You go.
from a weird thing that happened with your parents.
I know it's from something. I'm
Yeah.
avoiding even unpacking that box.
Yeah.
But this is what I do.
Yeah, I have that too.
Right. So
Yeah.
this guy, that feels more that than a deal breaker to me.
Right. But he would need to be able to work on this. This isn't going to fly. We're not going to have kids and
No, yeah, this is not a good reason.
Snapple bottles full of urine around my house.
It's so crazy. It's crazy enough to be not that crazy.
He must have like a real fear of something if that's why, because that's not a preferable thing. I think most people would rather use the bathroom.
What if his reasoning, he's an adult, 27, okay? Yeah, I'm just afraid of the dark.
No,
No, you're out.
that's not a man I would feel safe with.
There's ghosts out there.
Maybe it's like, I have a fear of running into your parents and feeling awkward.
That is
That's
a
a
normal,
Vulnerable thing to say.
but then why do you do it at your home?
I have a fear of running into my parents and it feeling awkward.
What happened? That's, the next day
Right.
is like, did you go to the bathroom and
That's
get
what I'm saying.
yelled at?
Yeah, we would need to get to the bottom of it. But he'd need to eventually be, this wouldn't be like, okay forever.
No.
So red flag.
Red flag. Listen, we gotta go. We got Joey from The Bachelor coming on. I gotta
coming
get
on.
warmed up for my big Joey
I'm
versus
excited.
Jared.
This is we're gonna play some games. Tune in on Sunday. We're gonna have a fun whiteboard off.
That's right. We did it again.
Yes, we'll be back on Sunday.
Boom.
Bye. The You Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.